One of my simple pleasures is going into watching something completely blind. Because when you go into it without any prior knowledge of what you're about to see, it can sometimes give you something that you can't fully explain. A gentle disquiet from a simple story of survival. Scavengers Reign was a risky venture from the start. From the minds of Joseph Bennett and Charles Huetner, it was originally pitched with an Adult Swim short entitled Scavengers, and a lot of the crazy, slimy, goopy DNA is apparent from the start. Scavengers tells us everything that we need to know as viewers without a single spoken word of dialogue, allowing us to bask in the beautiful weirdness on display. A gorgeous and deadly alien world that doesn't shy away from the grotesque, and two survivors doing their best to live among the harsh unfamiliariness. This short has a lot to say as we watch the two go to immense lengths just to have a fleeting moment of peace. Scavengers Reign takes that idea and cranks it up to an uncomfortable 11. It crafts a show that fills you with a gentle disquiet as you watch the struggles of stranded survivors. It envelops you into this experience that you simply can't look away from. As always, some spoilers ahead. If I were to describe Scavengers Reign to somebody, it would be the show of gentle disquiet. There are so many beautiful moments that you are swept through while tragedy happens. Perfect example, the opening credits sequence of the show. We are shown the scenes of disaster of the Demeter, witnessing what caused the need for the crew to evacuate. Bodies floating in space, escape pods exploding on entering the atmosphere, the horrors of a colossal space freighter wreck, all framed against the calm beauty of space as gentle, sparse, disquieting piano music plays. So much of the show is told to us in 0 words, 1 instrument, and 25 seconds. Touching on the music really quick, it's one part of the soundscape of the show that creates this lonely, suffocating atmosphere as there's not a lot of dialogue here. It's a small cast, and a lot of the time is spent watching and reacting to the environment around them. The music fills in that silence and fills in the emotions, and it's the heartbeat of the show. Broken, lonely, and haunting, the music drifts in and through you during those quiet spaces and fills you with that unnerving sense of calm, especially as you're watching the horrors of survival unfold. You feel like you're right there with them through every step of the way, and when the episode ends, it's like coming out of a trance. Scavengers Reign is a brilliant example of how to make a memorable experience without much of a story to tell. Okay, yes, there is a story here, but it's not a grand odyssey of saving the world or fighting oppression. It is a small cast of characters trying to make it to a crashed ship in the hopes of survival. Even then, the moments that we get with these characters aren't massive, loud story beats. We don't get a lot of sweeping realizations. Instead, we get a show filled with significantly quiet moments that tie us to these characters and their struggles. All of them having those moments of aching loneliness and the disquiet that oozes from almost every aspect of this show. You become invested in rooting for Ursula and Sam as they grow closer together through their constant close encounters with death. As their trust in each other builds, your attachment builds for both of them. The quiet moments spent with the both of them builds until Sam's sacrifice, which is one of the most beautiful moments of the show. A moment of pure calm and beauty while Sam slowly drifts away after passing the torch to Ursula. And it just fully hammers home the isolating, lonely calm that permeates the entire show. Ozzy is harsh, But as you get more glimpses of her background, you understand more of her personality, and her natural distrust makes sense. Especially as Levi becomes more and more a part of the planet as the goop takes over more and more of their circuitry. They become more free thinking and grow closer to full consciousness, and as they do, they become more of a character that you become attached to. Ozzy even begins to accept the changes and grow more attached to Levi as well. Finally having a friend in the harsh unfamiliarity only for Hollow. Leaving Ozzy alone. And that lonely feeling pervades you once again. She encounters the Scavengers, who offer a transactional arrangement that quickly falls apart until she's reunited with Ursula, and the two of them work together in the final steps of the story. I would say that she has the hardest road to the ship if it wasn't for Cayman. Cayman is the example of the effects of human greed and selfishness on a naive environment. The havoc it wreaks and the danger it causes. It is horrific, disturbing, and every time this motherfucker shows up on screen, you can't help but be unsettled. Every individual story is done so well, and it envelops you in this disquieting calm, and many times rips that calm away with brutal effect. Scavengers Reign is one of those shows where creativity takes the forefront. You are in constant awe and shock of what you are watching, and yet you never fully get pulled out of it by something feeling unfair or unwarranted. It's a slow-paced show, letting moments breathe where needed for moments of quiet resolve. And it stretches on for painstaking minutes to wrench every ounce of dread out of you. It is a simple story, executed to perfection, where every character beat feels earned, even if it doesn't bring anything earth-shattering to the table. And kind of on that topic, I just want to gush about how damn good this show is. At its core, this is a show that revolves around environmental horror. And environmental horror is one of the most difficult genres to write. Your main villain isn't a character. An environment can't have a tragic backstory that shows you why it's so horrifically cruel to the main protagonists. It simply is. It doesn't hunt and harm the protagonists out of some thirst for revenge. Quite the opposite, as oftentimes the environment just wants to return back to its natural balance without human intervention, which is both beautiful and disturbing. During some of the scenes, you suck in your breath as you watch in horror and disbelief as nature acts in nature's benefit. Everything is amplified on this planet, and they somehow even manage to balance world building with terror. In order for the show to maintain a sense of dread, you have to withhold some fundamental world building rules to build that terror. If the audience knows exactly what all the rules of the world are, then they can exactly see what's going to happen, and it ruins the suspense and the creeping dread. You are constantly writing that line of giving information to your audience so they can understand what is happening and not feel cheated out of the results, while also simultaneously withholding just enough rules of your world to keep them in suspense and terror of never knowing what's going to happen next. And even when your audience thinks they know exactly what the crazy twist is going to be, you somehow out crazy them even harder. I don't know how they continually do it. On top of all of that, you have to make sure that all of those rules feel natural and fit within the current restraints of your world systems, otherwise your entire world falls apart. It is a writing tightrope that they play with masterfully, as the world feels both fantastical and grounded. Sure, things are alien and bizarre, but nothing feels out of place or unearned. It's a quietly beautiful show that gives so many small lessons of the human condition, as well as being one of the most unsettling works of sci-fi I've seen in a long time. I love small passion projects like this, and I am so glad that we live in an age where they are at least given a chance, even if it may be for only one small season. Scavengers Reign is the show of small stories filled with disquieting moments done to perfection. Those small moments of the opening credits, Levi standing in the shelter among nature and beginning to gain consciousness, and Sam's sacrifice have lived in my mind since I saw the show, and I have a feeling those moments will stay there for a long time to come. Scavengers Reign is a short show, but one that will have a lasting impact on me, and one that I am so glad I stumbled onto. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Just wanted to pop up here really quickly and say I have been more active on Patreon. I need to be more active to meet my goals of how much stuff that I want to put out on Patreon, but I have been more active. You can check it out. There's a link down there. You get access to new videos before anybody else. Sometimes there are things that make it into the Patreon videos that don't make it into the YouTube videos because of YouTube copyright stuff. Fun times. Also, I'm trying to do at least a video a week, as well as doing some videos with the lovely Furple. We've been collaborating on a lot of stuff. Also, I have been trying to start streaming again. I'm trying to nail down a schedule that I can do that, but my life is very busy with university stuff. So, trying to figure all of that out at twitch.tv/flyingwalrusman if you want to check out the live streams. I think that's really it. If you don't want to give me money directly, please don't. You don't have to do that. Just interact with the video, give it a like, comment your favorite nostalgic TV show that nobody remembers and maybe was just a Mandela effect of your childhood. Make YouTube give me their money. That is a much better option. As always, thank you guys so much. Love you all. Bye.